Have you ever wondered what the future holds? What if someone could see it all? Today, we're diving into the world of Baba Vanga, the blind mystic whose prophecies have captivated and chilled people for decades. She's been credited with foreseeing major world events, from natural disasters to political shifts. We've gathered 10 of her most bone-chilling predictions that some claim are yet to unfold. Are they just coincidences, or did she truly have a glimpse into our tomorrow? From cosmic shifts to changes in Earth's orbit, her visions paint a startling picture of what might lie ahead. Get ready, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you see the future. Stick around as we count down the top 10 most shocking predictions from the Nostradamus of the Balkans. You won't want to miss this one. The rise of the Twin Towers. In 1989, Baba Vanga whispered a strange warning. The steel birds will fall upon the American brothers, and the world will weep. At that time, few understood what she meant, but 12 years later, on September 11, 2001, the sky over New York burned. The Twin Towers, symbols of American strength, crumbled into dust. The world watched in disbelief as fear, sorrow, and silence filled the earth. How could a blind woman from a small Bulgarian village, with no access to news, have described a tragedy that would happen decades later with such haunting accuracy? For many, that day transformed Baba Vanga from a local mystic into a voice that echoed beyond time. 2. The Great Tsunami of 2004. Years before the Indian Ocean disaster, Baba Vanga foretold of a great wave that would cover the coast and drown entire nations. She spoke of people vanishing beneath the sea, of a wall of water taller than the sky. On December 26, 2004, her words became reality. A magnitude 9.1 earthquake shook the ocean floor, unleashing a tsunami that devoured cities, beaches, and families across 14 countries. More than 200,000 souls were lost in a single morning. Those who survived said it was like watching the end of the world itself. When her followers heard the news, they remembered her prophecy, and many wept, believing that once again, the blind seer had seen what no eye could. 3. The fall of the Soviet Union. During the height of the Cold War, when the Soviet Union seemed untouchable, Baba Vanga said, "The Red Empire will fall, and its people will choose a new path." Her words were dismissed as nonsense, impossible. Yet, just a few years after her death, the impossible happened. In 1991, the Soviet flag was lowered for the last time. A superpower collapsed overnight, not from invasion, but from within, broken by corruption, hunger, and lost belief. Millions awoke in a world that no longer existed the night before. To those who remembered her prophecy, it was as if Baba Vanga had read the destiny of nations like one reads lines on a hand. Quiet, inevitable, and deeply human. 4. The tragedy of Kursk in 1980. Baba Vanga spoke softly of a place called Kursk, saying it would be covered in water, and the world will weep. People were puzzled. Kursk was far inland, a landlocked city, untouched by the sea. Decades later, in August 2000, the Russian submarine Kursk sank beneath the icy Barents Sea during a naval exercise. All 118 sailors perished. When the news broke, the eerie precision of her words chilled millions. Even now, families of those lost say it felt as though she had cried before they did, her warning echoing across time and water. It was not just prophecy. It was a reminder of how fragile life remains, even in the depths of modern power. 5. The rise of extremism in her later years. Baba Vanga warned of a great war born of faith, when blood and belief will mix and peace will vanish. At first, her listeners thought she spoke of ancient crusades long past. But as the new millennium unfolded, terrorism and ideological conflict tore across nations. From New York to Baghdad, from Paris to Kabul, the same shadows spread: fear, division, and hatred cloaked in the name of God. Her prophecy was not about religion itself, but about what happens when faith loses compassion. She had seen a future where men fought not for survival, but for power wrapped in holy words. And today, her warning feels less like mysticism and more like the mirror of our times. 6. The global financial crisis. Baba Vanga once said, "A time will come when money will lose its meaning, and hunger will walk beside the rich." No one imagined how real those words would become until 2008. Banks collapsed, families lost homes overnight, wealth vanished into digital dust. The powerful stood helpless as markets fell like dominoes. For the first time, the modern world, built on profit and prediction, felt the cold grip of uncertainty. It wasn't the end of money, but the end of illusion. To those who remembered her words, it felt like the old blind woman had seen not numbers or charts, but human greed itself. and how easily it turns against its maker. 7. The spread of a deadly virus decades before the 21st century began. Baba Vanga spoke of a great illness that will cover the world, leaving many without breath. Her followers didn't understand, but in 2020, the prophecy returned in the form of a virus that stopped the world. COVID-19 spread across continents, closing borders, silencing cities, and taking millions of lives. For many, it was more than a disease. It was a test of humanity's fragility. Those who knew Baba Vanga's words shuddered, realizing she had described not just a sickness of the body, but a fear and isolation. It was as though she had seen a world gasping for air long before the first breath was lost died. The melting of the ice, long before climate change became a term, Baba Vanga warned, the cold places will grow warm, and the sleeping giants beneath will awaken. In her lifetime, few understood, but today, her vision unfolds before our eyes. The Arctic melts faster than predicted. Ancient viruses and frozen creatures emerge from thawing permafrost. The balance of nature trembles. Her words weren't scientific, yet they capture something terrifyingly poetic that the earth itself remembers. Everything we've done to it. And like an old god waking from slumber, it now demands we listen. 9. The decline of the West. Baba Vanga once said, the West will fall, the East will rise. Too many. It sounded like the language of empires, not prophecy. But as decades passed, her words began to take form. While the Western world struggles with division and doubt, nations like China and India ascend in power and vision. The global balance shifts quietly, not through war, but through will. Her prophecy isn't about one side defeating another. It's about change, cycles, and the turning of history's wheel. Every empire believes it will last forever, but Baba Vanga knew even the brightest sun eventually sets in the east. 10. The year darkness returns. Of all her prophecies, one remains the most mysterious and the most feared. She spoke of a shadow that will fall upon the earth when the light of humanity flickers. Some believe she meant nuclear war. Others think it was a warning about moral decay, a future where truth and empathy fade into darkness. No one knows when this will happen, or if it already has, but her voice lingers like an echo across time, whispering a simple truth. Humanity's greatest danger has never been the future itself, it's forgetting what makes us human.